Next up, we have our committee resolutions, 19-144, which is endorsing the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus Greenest Region Compact, and I will make a motion to approve.
Moved by Mr. Markham, second by Mr. Ventura. Any discussion? Any discussion? Mr. Tumanello.
Thank you. I do have a concern about one of the whereas lines in this talks about the greenest regional compact synthesizes sustainability goals already adopted by leading communities in the region. Talks about the consensus goals aligning with common regional, state, national, and global objectives. First of all, I'd like to see some of those objectives, but second of all, I'm concerned that we're trying to align with certain communities in the region because I believe we are the leader in a lot of them. And I want to make sure that we continue to stay in the position we are. I believe we're doing some phenomenal things with solar. I believe we're doing some phenomenal things with our energy buyback, with the energy companies. I just want to make sure that we're not pigeonholed into consensus goals formed by regional mayors that may not be in line with what we're trying to accomplish here at the county.
Mr. Markham.
We discussed that kind of in committee. So, and one of the things that we talked about was making this more of a county-centered document because it is going to be a living document. But this document does allow us access to grant funding that isn't currently available to us since we're going to pool our resources. But we are going to try to make this county-centered so it's more applicable to us. And it is a living document, so it's not. And there's nothing legally binding for this, but it does open up a lot of grant money that isn't currently available to us. So I hope that kind of alleviates some of your concerns.
Any other questions? Mr. Ballich.
I have the opinion that when the state opens up more grant money, since we are already the leader, they need us to get their grants because we're doing way more than any of those other groups, as far as I know. So I don't see why we should join their group. We should create our own group and tell them if they want to join our group, come on in. But why should we be subservient to another group that isn't even close to where we are?
Got an answer for that?
I mean, it's like I said, it's not legally binding, and since we are a leader, we're going to make it for us. And I mean, we can join a group and then become the leader of that group. So I mean, we have been a leader in this area and then the whole state and probably the whole region for years. So I mean, we're already a leader. Why not show other people what we do as a county? And I mean, we've been doing it for years. That's all I have to say about that.
Ms. Traynor.
Yes, thank you, Congressman Walsh. I just wanted to mention, what Board Member Tumanello said. The Greenest Region Compact synthesizes sustainability goals already adopted by leading communities in the region. We've already adopted some of these things. We are the people that we're talking about in this document. I don't know how we couldn't agree with what we're doing. I mean, that's what I thought I heard Ray say, that we're already doing it. And I heard Steve say, we're already doing it. This document just codifies that and says, we are one of the leaders in the community. It doesn't say we're the leader county community, but we're the leader in the community. That's all I wanted to say.
Mr. Mustis.
I have some similar concerns that Mr. Tumanello mentioned, and that is when you're saying we're adopting regional, national, global objectives, and they're unnamed objectives. That concerns me a little bit because we're buying into something that we don't know what it is. What are those objectives? So I would kind of like to see that less specific come out of the resolution because I've been around long enough that all of a sudden you don't take it. You may not agree with something and you say, well, we said we agreed to this. So I'm concerned about anything in any resolution that doesn't really spell out what you're buying into. So So that's a concern of mine. But I also want to just make a quick comment about this county. You know, Tuesday, we went through our new courthouse, had a tour, and all you have to look at some of the things we're doing there, whether it's green roofs, solar power, the most efficient systems that we could place into the facility, shows we're a leader. The other part we really been a leader in is I want to mention the Forest Preserve and the citizens of Will County who agreed to pay for these things through referendum, you know, since approximately 1990, really more around 92, we've added 8,800 acres to open space. We preserved another 8,800 acres. This county now has 22,000 acres that's in preservation. You know, that's all part of sustainability. I also want to mention that when Joliet Arsenal was being decommissioned, you know, we supported in Will County of leaving out of the 22,000 acres approximately, I think it was 23,000 acres, something like that. You know, we supported leaving 19,000 acres in open space and restoring our prairie land. We've done some extraordinary things here. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the county executive. You know, when Mr. Walsh became the county executive, he initiated the Green Will County. I just want to mention that we've been hard at this for many years. And that's just my way of saying, patting ourselves on the back. I'm patting all you on the back. And Larry, Mr. Executive, special thanks to you because it was one of your very early initiatives. So when folks think that we haven't been hard at work at this, we have been. And I think it should be noted. So I think, Mr. Executive, it should be noted that this was an early initiative of yours. And most of it has gone through the executive's office as far as a lot of the initiatives. They come through our solid waste program, they come from our landfill, and that's where the money comes from for a lot of these programs, by the way, because this board decided we're not just in here to take money out of a landfill, we're going to put it back in. You've seen some of that earlier today with those checks. You know, that money comes from our landfill. That was part of our agreement with Waste Management, that they put that money into those communities. So I guess I could go on, but I will stop. I just want to say I think we've done an admirable job from, you know, top to bottom. Everybody's pitched in. So thank
Thanks,
you, Mr.
Jim.
Executive.
You got a comment?
Just really quick, and it would be the way that I thought about this, and but in our board packet, the framework booklet, which is the bullet point B, outlines all the goals. So the goals are kind of listed in there, and I mean there's boxes that we as a county can check if it's applicable to us or not. So I mean they are the goals are outlined in the left-hand column, which is C if you're looking at the spreadsheet that's attached, and it gives the objectives, so it has the goals and actions. So it is in there if you want to take a look at that. But I just wanted to say that was what my understanding is of the goals, and that was mentioned in the resolution. And so with that, I'm gonna let everybody else do the talking.
Thank you. Ms. Berkowitz?
Executive. Because this is a living document, that alone is reason for this proclamation to be modified. Because we specify in the proclamation global initiatives and national initiatives, we are unique here in Will County. We're very progressive. We have a vibrant conservation program. We have agriculture that we'd like to preserve. That may not necessarily correspond with these global initiatives that are referred to. So I would like to see the proclamation modified and presented in a county fashion so that we can abide by it without that question of what are the goals outside of the county, and what are our requirements if we were to approve a proclamation that's written as broadly as this. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rice?
This resolution to not take a few words out of context and look at the spirit of the whole resolution. So what I would direct everyone to look at is the Greenest Region Compact may act as a foundation to update the energy and conservation plan to include these goals prioritized by the Will County community. Nothing is binding about this resolution. It's calling for communities to work together. When you read further, and they talk about communities working together, it does not mean that something is requiring us to do something that's in the document. And even though we're doing a good job, we can work together to improve. I don't think anyone can deny when you're doing good, you can do better. So I just think it's important to look that this is not binding, this is a framework, and we may or may not include these goals. Nothing is requiring us to. And I see the resolution very appropriate and positive and in touch with what my community members would like to see us doing.
Thank you. Mr. Tumanello?
I was concerned about is there are sections in there, you're right, the goals and the strategies are listed. I actually took the time and read those, and some of the things that got me nervous are the ones that say, you know, commit to the compact of mayors, adopt the mayor's monarch pledge. These are things that I really don't even know what they are and haven't seen them, and that's my only concern. I want to continue to be the leader in the area. I want to continue to do the things we're doing. Anything we could do to be more green is a step in the right direction, but we want to make sure that we're doing it the way we want to do it and not adopting mayor's monarch's pledges and committing to things that we don't even. And I know it's a living document. I know. I'm just saying. I'm a living person.
I understand.
I'm reading it, and I'm seeing things that are just making me concerned. That's all.
I understand.
Ms. Ventura?
Don, did you want to go first?
No, you're called.
You were recognized.
So what I wanted to say was I sent this resolution to Mike Frizzalone months ago for his leadership to work with the Republican Party because I asked for this to be a bipartisan resolution, that we would all work together on this. I received no feedback months ago. I didn't receive any feedback at the Committee of the Whole. I didn't receive any feedback after Land Use Committee. Sam Loomer worked to reword the language so it would be a little bit more to their specifications, and yet no feedback was given. So I asked to move forward on a vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gould?
Executive. Certainly Will County's done a great job as far as energy efficiency in its buildings and conservation. I did read the document, however, as someone who represents a district that has a nuclear power plant with 2 units and also a major oil refinery, I will have to be a no. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. Mr. Corlides?
Thank you, Mr. Executive. I too have reservations on this resolution. Anytime I see global initiatives in tying our local government to global initiatives and also to pledges that were indicated that we're unaware of. Can anybody give me an idea of what is in that mayor's or monarch's pledge that is referred to in the documents?
We'll let, I mean, if Sam wants to give a quick rundown of that, if she.
Well, not Sam. How about somebody in the people that are voting on this?
And we don't have to, like I said earlier, do everything that's in there because we get to pick our initiatives as a county. So if there's something we don't want to do as a county, we just say no and don't do it. We have the option of going through it line by line and saying what we like or don't like.
Okay.
So, I mean, if we don't want to do that, then we're not going to do it as a county.
Understood, and thank you for that. That's probably something that we should discuss prior to voting for this. So
Was that a committee of the whole land here?
excuse me. I think one of the things that I want to point out is Ms. Ventura had indicated that there was no cooperation. I think up to this point, some of the leading the way that Will County has done, Jim pointing out Larry's involvement and his involvement and the board's involvement, that is proof of our willingness to work together and our success as a county in working together in achieving these objectives. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Mr. Brooks?
Mr. Executive, I think it's two things clear this morning is that we have worked in a collaborative effort of bringing the county where it is right now on this issue. And the second issue is I think we can bring the resolution if we just do a roll call.
Call the question.
Call the question.
Mr. Mustis?
Yeah, I just want to make one other comment, and it is on the economic side, and it is about job creation and so forth. Mr. Gould makes a good point. We have a nuclear power plant here. They may or may not fit in these initiatives. I don't know. But we also have 2 refineries in Will County that employ a lot of people. Many of these initiatives, global initiatives, may not fall in line with what we hear, our economic assets here in Will County that employ thousands of people. And I might also point out that we are still a strong agricultural community. And when you start looking at agriculture and some of the negative language that comes out towards agriculture in relation to being polluters, maybe some of these global initiatives will also affect the farm community. So I'm going to be a no because I'm just not comfortable with these global initiatives when I don't know what really global initiatives. So we're going to be working with France, we're going to be going to Paris soon? I don't know. So I'm going to be a no based on the broad spectrum of the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Executive.
Mr. Ballage?
Yes, I made my position real clear at committee, that I look at the mayors in this group are some of the ones that are going after the airport agricultural good farmland, and they want to take all of our resources and get all the money and give Will County zero control. And so anytime I see the mayors and managers trying to take over something in Will County, I immediately think about the Piatone Airport. It drives me nuts that it's in our county and they want all the revenue from it and they want all the control from it. And I don't think Will County is a dumb county. We're smart people here. So why should we allow this to happen on any level, whether it be a green level or it be on a financial level? It's a bad thing for our county.
Thank you. Mr. Ferry?
Mr. Executive, please call the question.
Okay. I got one more speaker. Mr. Fresalone?
Yeah, I think I need to have an opportunity to answer Mrs. Ventura. I don't know how your caucus works, but we allow all our members to bring all their opinions forward. They each have some different concerns on this, and so as leadership, we let them voice their concerns.
Okay. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Ferry?
Yes.
Frizzalone?
Yes.
Ogala?
Yes.
Summers?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Mustis? Rice?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Trainier?
Yes.
Fritz? Mueller?
Yes.
Gould?
No.
Van Dyne?
Yes.
Balich?
No.
Brooks?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Ventura?
Yes.
Dallinger?
Yes.
Markham?
Yes.
Berkowitz?
No.
Cowan?
Yes.
Tuminello?
No.
Weigel?
Yes.
Carlitis?
No.
Winfrey?
18 affirmative, motion has carried.